Ooh. I don't know if you can see it, but even the texture of the lid is different. I'm talking to Vlogmas. I've been wanting hand cream for a while, even though I've got multiple tubes open, but I just want one in every room. It smells citrusy and it's nice and light. I don't really particularly like the very heavy hand creams. Those I feel like are good for, you know, almost like an overnight mask, but for your hands. This is nice for every day.
That's Miss Sedgwick.
No, it's Lady Featherington.
Hello, world. Come on.
I'm gonna try the novel idea of reading with my eyes today. Whoa.
Watching, and I'm stuck doing a thing I'm not into for what? 5, 10 years? 15 if it's baseball. Statistically 3 if it's football. No way you're good at football too.
The cat ears are already starting to rub away. Hi. Do I still say I'm a modern Ajumma in these daily Vlogmases? I don't know. I don't know anymore. But hello. It's another night where I put my skincare on and tell you about my day, which was just fine. I mostly just continue to rest my back. It's better for the most part. It's just the thing when you get old or I guess I should speak for myself, but as I'm getting older, if I see that I have a lot of stuff coming up throughout the week and I have like long days ahead of me, I rest when I can because I'm gonna need it. And then I'm gonna need recovery time after. This is why older people are accused of not being spontaneous anymore. I mean, one of the many reasons why, you know, like if you have kids or any other obligations, like you need forewarning, you need a plan of attack. And that's why that Life Form by Jenny Slate quote, there are multiple quotes that really slayed, but the age one in particular, how she feels her youngness and her oldness simultaneously, because it doesn't feel like that long ago when, I mean, it doesn't, but it doesn't feel that long ago when I threw caution to the wind and I would, I don't know, do whatever crazy crap that I did in my 20s. Any of you out there, if you're in your 20s, live your life. And if you're in your 30s and 40s, do let an Ajma know if I'm doing it wrong and you're living it up more than I am. You can see, for the most part, I don't do much on a daily basis. I mostly am home by choice. I love being at home. And then if I'm out, it's mostly to run errands and stuff. So as much as I would love to show like fun Vlogmas clips of like activities with the capital A, I'm just not that person. Like there's a reason why my child is the way that he is, because he is like me. However, I have remembered that I am a booktuber and I still read books. So today I thought it would be a novel idea to read with my eyeballs, which TBH, it has been a minute. So I picked back up Everyone Knows Your Mother is a Witch by Rivka Galchen, and I'm really flying through it. I'm about 30% of the way in and I just started it today. Well, I'll be brutally honest. I got it as a library audiobook, even though I have the physical copy. It's just if I can get an audiobook for it, I will immediately go for that, since I have more opportunities to consume an audiobook than I would a physical book, since I do read audiobooks while I have my hands busy, like I'm doing the dishes, folding laundry, driving. So or even like at the end of the night and the lights are off and my eyes are closed, but my ears and brain are fully functional and starved for content. So I did start Everyone Knows Your Mother is a Witch back in October because I thought, oh, what a perfect spooky season novel choice. But for whatever reason, I just wasn't vibing with it. I wasn't understanding what it was saying for a large part, and I technically DNF'd it. So I took a break from it and then I picked it back up this month with my physical copy. Like, oh, you got to give it for the designer for this cover. I love this cover. I also really liked the hardback cover design, which is like that purple with the stars. And I read other Rivka Galkins in the previous years. I might be like almost a Rivka Galkin completionist. I very much enjoy her like wonky, I don't want to use the word weird, but it's very non-conformative and offbeat. So I've been a fan for a while. When I saw this novel come out a couple of years ago, I really wanted to buy it, but I kind of took my time. And then this paperback edition came out, so this was when I ran to the bookstore to buy this physical paperback copy. And as you can see, much more successful reading this novel with my eyeballs. Like when I was reading the audiobook, I just wasn't my brain wasn't connecting with everything that was happening, because with Rivka Galkin, she treats her readers as very smart people, but you gotta justify her assumptions on your end as well. And so just my brain wasn't connecting the dots in the plot and who was talking when, and the characters aren't often cited, he said, she said, and then some characters have nicknames of animals and vegetables, so it sounds all the more confusing when a cabbage is speaking. So that also just did not help. So not every time does the audiobook format reign in my life, which is interesting because it reminds you of needing to be more discerning about your reading format. Like, when do you choose? I mean, I'm asking you, when do you choose to read something as a physical copy, as an ebook, as an audiobook? For me, I go straight to the audiobook just because I know that I'll have more opportunities for the times that I will be able to read it that way. I will probably rarely read an ebook. I don't do things like request ARCs or anything, whether it be an ebook format or a physical PR. I think the one time that I did was when I was DMing with my beloved Matthew Shurappa when he was working on Martyr by Kaveh Akbar, and he asked if I wanted a copy, and I was like, yes, please. And he kindly sent me a copy, the hardback, beautiful yellow splendor. And that was my first book PR. And then recently I got another PR email. I think it was from Riverhead, and the marketing associate just asked if I would be interested, and I said yes, please. So I will be receiving it shortly. I have no idea if it's the finished final print without the advanced reader copy stamp on the cover or not. Anyway, my point is I just rarely read ebooks. I do if it's a title that I'm very curious about and that's all my library will have, or other iterations. For example, I currently got another Natalie Haynes as an ebook through Hoopla, I think. So I still need to start that. And yeah, with this Rivka Galkin, if I already tried it as an audiobook, but it just wasn't resonating, and I managed to get the physical copy, or in this case, I already own a physical copy, then I will try reading it with my eyeballs and, paper in hand. And in this way, in this format, all the stars have aligned, and it's Like, I'm probably going to finish this tomorrow because even now I only stopped reading so that I can record this chatty talky clip and quickly edit and upload Vlogmas. And then I will probably read like another 20 pages or so before going to sleep, which is another topic that I wanted to bring up. If I do have a physical book, like paper in my hands, one thing that I will do like every time is see how many pages there are and kind of math it out in my brain. Okay, and depending on how speedy the writing is as well, like I don't want to take more than 4 sittings reading this book if it's, 300 pages, definitely. And ideally, 100 pages in 100 pages per sitting. So 3 sittings, 100 pages each. Like that's, and then I'll read. And then once I hit 100 pages, I'll feel like I can stop. But that also means that I'm not going to start reading a book until like I have the time to read it. Nothing stops your reading progress when you start reading, like you're not setting yourself up for success. You start a book, you start getting into it, and then you have to put it down for, whatever reason. And then it's just harder to pick it back up again. And then you don't. And so you don't. And it ends up languishing on your nightstand. And then you feel guilty. So just don't start. Don't start to begin with, and be more intentional in your reading habits. And like if you have that hard goal of 50 books a year or 56 books a year, you break that number down and then you track that and you chart it, and that's how you plan and set yourself up for success. For the past several years, I've set my Goodreads yearly challenge at 100 books a year, 30,000 pages. And for the past couple years, it's well past 100 books. I don't necessarily plan on upping that number. I just don't see a reason to. I don't see a point. The 30,000 pages, I really just set to make sure that I'm not using tiny books as a filler. And I genuinely want to read bigger books. Yeah, I love internet. Grateful for all the apps. This just reminded me that, and I just put it into both my Goodreads and my Historiograph, but I technically started Icarus by Ancrum as a library audiobook, and I'm 16% of the way in. I don't remember how I saw this. It might have been from Matthew Sharappa, but I have been all over the contemporary Greek retellings this year and saw this title as one of them. So I put in a library hold, finally came through. Here's another thing that I don't really share with anyone, but I will start several books. If it's just not resonating, I will not log it. So I think this was yesterday or a couple days ago, but I technically was trying, is it Great Expectations by Vincent Cunningham? And I don't remember how far along I got. It might have been at the 10% point, but my Libby audio came in and it just wasn't hitting at the time, like from the get-go. And I try to at least give it 10% before I DNF it. And then I learned the hard way with multiple titles to not log it until I am past the 10% mark. Like I did that with Disorientation by Elaine Shea Gell, that I did this to like 2 years ago. Then I finally finished for real last month. And I also did this for Virginia Woolf's The Waves, and Anniversaries by blanking on the author, but it's an NYRB. It's like a massive, over 1,000-page chonker that's like in epistolary format, and it was going good, but I did the thing that I learned from it. I didn't set myself up for success, and I would just pick it up whenever I would feel like it without having the time to really get into it. Like when you read, you have to pass at least 25 pages, if not 50. Like 50 is ideal, because then like you only read a page here and there. Like you're not gonna retain anything. You're just gonna feel bad about yourself. So I made it past the 10% mark on Icarus, and so far so good. It is a contemporary Greek retelling. I did not realize that this is a YA. Is it YA? It has to be, because it's like the characters' names are still like Icarus and is it Helios? Helios? I think so. So, you know, those Greek names are still there, but it's a high school setting. They're kids. Icarus is like a cat burglar for his father. So far, I'm intrigued. Icarus pulled an Abu like while he was in the cave, and he needed to leave with the genie lamp, but instead he got sidetracked by something else, by some other treasure, and now he's in shit soup. And the whole time I was like, no, don't Abu yourself. So yeah, I'm getting into it. No like huge thoughts just yet. I'll try to read more Icarus tomorrow. But oh, this is exciting. I'm actually talking about books in my Vlogmas again. And yes, tomorrow I'm busy and have things to do and will need to plan better. I realize that there are so many Vlogmases where like things are very holiday oriented, like to a cosmic degree, where it's just event after event and like all of the decorations in the background, but I've just never been that person. I'm not quite sure why I chose to Vlogmas this year. I just felt like, I don't know, I felt the sign to do it, so I'm doing it. And once I make a commitment, I stick to it. So even if not much is going on, there will be daily Vlogmasing. Even if I am tired AF and I look like poop, there will be a daily Vlogmas. So I'm not really apologizing for anything. I guess I'm just explaining. And it's not like there's zero holiday content. There will be some, and there will continue to be more, just not like a constant bombardment. I think I would hate my life if it were so. So that's it for me today. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow.